Hi all, if you could please like and subscribe my video, that would be greatly appreciated. So today we're going to be looking at the technology side of detecting. Already in my last videos I've looked at the knowledge. If you haven't watched them, have a look. Today, we're going to be looking at the four types of detectors. So the four types of detectors are very low frequency, multi-frequency, pulse induction, and 3D imaging. I'll have a quick look at each and then you can pick which one you think is best for yourself and then you can further research that. But I'll just try and help you out for the first part of it. So very low frequency. Very low frequency are the cheapest, the entry-level model to detectors. So obviously that means they don't work as well. So they basically detect for bigger items that are deeper in the ground. So bigger, you're talking treasure chests, big bottles, not gold, really, to be honest. Not really any good for gold. You got to miss so much gold because of it. So I sort of would just skip straight through the very low frequency detectors. Alright, so now we're going to look at the multi-frequency, which is a bit more advanced than the very low frequency. It's a little bit more expensive too. So it's a mix between low and high frequency. It can work both, so you're not going to really get the depth with this one. It'll be pretty targeted, so it will work pretty well with gold. However, it's not going to go very deep, so unless you're going over new ground, it's probably still not really worth the money. So I would sort of overlook that too, unless you've got a budget of sort of under $5,000, then maybe you could have a look at that. But unless you do, not worth looking at either. Okay, so the newest one is pulse induction. I'll say a bit more about this because this is where you want to be headed towards, really. So the pulse induction goes deeper than any frequency detector. There's no point me explaining why or how that is. You can read about that. If not, then it's not really a need-to-know basis. It's just a simple fact that goes deeper. It's more targeted, so you're not going to miss anything. Even those small few gram gold, you're not going to miss that if it's within reach of the pulse reaching it. Now it's a little bit more expensive. So a pulse induction detector you can pay up to $10,000, but really, if you're going to make the effort to go up and do it properly, then you might as well pay that money, anywhere from probably $6,000 to $8,000, and you're going to get a good detector. So the pulse induction, is probably the most recommended and the most used in Australia. There's a couple of brands that are very common here. So it's definitely the newest. They've been around about 6-7 years or so. So they are pretty new with the technology. It's definitely something that I'd read more into. So now let's have a look at the 3D technology detectors. These are new, so they've only come out in the last couple of years. So obviously with the better technology becomes expense. So these ones are the most expensive of detectors that you can buy. So you're looking up towards 20,000, so anywhere from 10,000 to $20,000 you're looking for to buy this. So it's really an investment. You'd really want to sort of be hoping that you're right onto the gold before you bought one of these. So the difference with these, firstly, is they go a lot deeper. So they can go up to 15 metres. However, in Australia, it's unknown. They're relatively new to the market. So because of our mineralisation, the 3D detectors are a bit unknown. So they could be brilliant, or their depth might really be affected by the mineralisation that we have in our soil here. So that's the one sort of negative aspect. The good part about them is you're not concentrating as much on hearing noises. So you haven't got headphones on and you walk in the rain, you're really concentrating on hearing just a different ping to the normal ping. So it's all through the eyes. So you see it and it's all graphical, which I find much better. I find it much easier. Also, along with this technology, you have to consider to yourself, are you computer literate? If you can't use a computer or an iPad, there is no point getting a 3D detector. If you're even incompetent at doing either, you're probably better to stick to the pulse induction. The positive with the 3D detector, and I think it's the main positive, is that you can discriminate the metals. So you can put in the settings that you don't want steel to come up as an object. No steel will come up. So if you've got it strictly put for gold, if you get a signal on the screen, it's going to be gold. The only problem with that is, because of the depth of the 3D gate, you might be digging down meters. So you have to work out, am I physically able as well to be able to dig that far into the ground? So yeah, this involves more digging. 3D is something to think about, but you have to consider whether you're able to be able to do it with the digging, with the depth, with learning the technology and how to use the technology. All right, so let's go through the pros and the cons. The very low frequency, the good thing is they're cheap, up to maybe $1,000. Easy, lightweight. There's long battery life. I think you can get up to 10-hour battery life. They go deep. The cons are it's not for mineralized soil. You can lose a lot of gold. It's just got to go straight over small gold, and it might miss large gold too. So definitely more cons than pros when it comes to very low frequency. We look at the multi-frequency now. Cost effective, so it's cheaper than the pulse induction one. Different frequencies can be used at the same time, so it doesn't go as deep as a low frequency. It's a bit more targeted, but you still got to miss gold. So it doesn't discriminate metals. You can get a lot of junk targets with it because it's only concentrating really on the top of the soil. So you got to get lots of bottle tops, nails, etc. And this is just all time consuming. The more you dig, the more time you waste in actually detecting. So the pulse induction, this is the deepest of the detectors. It's immune to mineralization, so they're very good in Victoria, Queensland, and Western Australia, which is really important over here. It's more specific for gold, so it can sort of filter out minute bottle tops, especially if they're deep. So it's more targeted towards gold. The cons are it's more expensive, so you're looking to pay $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 for one, so it is quite an investment. They're pretty heavy. You can use a harness and they're not too bad with the harness, so I wouldn't say they're overly heavy, but they are heavier than the frequency ones. They don't discriminate metal like the 3D ones do, but yeah, the pulse induction is also harder to learn than the frequency one. Now the 3D technology. Okay, so this is interesting. It's the greatest depth of everything. We do know that. However, yeah, whether that happens in Australia or not is pretty much unknown. It's purely accurate. It's if you want it to find gold, it will find gold if gold is there. It discriminates, so you're not digging up old tins, you're not digging up bottle tops or old coins, so a lot less digging. There's no headphones or noise, which is what I think is fantastic. It's all through sight, and obviously you can cover a larger area if you're spending your time not digging. So the cons of it are very expensive, as I said. You're looking between $10,000 and $20,000. Of course, in Australia, it's unknown. We've mentioned a few times. It's going to be difficult to get advice. So if you've got any questions, you're not going to be able to go to your local detector shop and get much information of them, simply because they're so new and not that common in Australia. So that's one thing also to think about. And yeah, the technology, if you really don't have a grasp on computers and iPads, then you would probably be looking towards the pulse induction. Okay, so I hope that that helps you out. Please follow my journey, like and subscribe this video, and we will keep on learning and hunting for gold. Thank you.